Well, I got another timber rattler Bowie knife. It's called the Arizona Sunset. It is a very pretty knife. I got some other knives out here just to show you comparison between the size and the weight. Maybe I don't have a scale, but here's the Arizona Sunset. It actually has a nice leather shield. It's pretty. It's pretty. I know some people think there's foam in here. This is not foam. That's a leather spacer. Stitching's on it's nice. Let's see how it is. See, this is riveted, so that's on there a little bit better than sewing. And by the way, you can always put a hole in here. I'm probably going to do a video on that, how you can do that with a 1/4 inch pop rivet, drill out the middle of it, so you have like a riveted hole in here, not just even a hole, which would be pretty handy for if you have it tied to your leg. You could always make this wider too if you want to. Sheath size is about identical to the Timberwolf Rattler. Now, just want to put that next to it. Now, I'm going to tell you, this Rattler is heavy. It's one of the disadvantages to it. It's very strong. It's full tang. This one is not full tang. You can see it's a stick tang. But on the other side of it is this is the the handguard and all the pommel and everything. The spacers in here, they're pure brass. On the Timber Rattler, they're brass plated. These are brass plated. It looks like about a 1/4 inch. Just kind of comparison them because maybe it's a little. It is a little less than a 1/4 inch. This one, it's heavy. The blade length, about the same thing. It's an 11-inch blade, 16 inches long. This, I think, is an 11 and a little over. It's over 11 inches. I think it's 11 3/4 inches blade, and it's 16.5 inches, I believe, the whole thing. Yeah, it's 16.5 inches. This is just a hair shorter. You see the blade. And I'm going to tell you one thing. Picking this up is not such a big deal. You can still choke up on it because it's not, it doesn't have a finger groove, but you don't really need a finger groove. But again, like I said, this is pure brass. I don't think the fact that it has a stick tang means it's going to be bad. This is actually real bone. It's not plastic. It's real bone, real brass, not brass plated. Price on it was $14.98, and of course, they're running Black Friday and Christmas sales, and if you buy enough, you get free shipping. So I keep buying. I bought some more, and I said, "What the hell?" I'm probably going to use this. See, this says the TR65 stainless steel. That's not. There actually is a TR65 designation for stainless steel, which means it's a generic term for stainless. But that's just a model number. This says TR136, I believe. Pakistan right up here on the top of the blade. I know some people mock Pakistan blades, but I think they're a lot better than the Chinese knockoffs. Now, if you're getting some 440 stainless or AUG 6, AUG 6 or AUG 8, AUG 6 isn't even that bad, But this is probably, I don't know what it is. I can't find the information. I'm assuming 420. But where it makes up for it is it's still pretty thick. I mean, you're not going to be able to beat the hell out of this thing on cinder blocks or something, or not expect it to fail. It's heavier than the USMC K bar. It's a K bar. It's the same as the USMC K bar. It's heavier than that. This one is it's a little heavier, but it's nowhere near like this. This one is basically an axe. It's more of an axe than a knife. This, I'd say, is closer to a Bowie, but you can see the difference in size even for the big brother. I know that's a blade difference, right? There's your blade difference. Now, of course, this knife would hold up a hell of a lot better being out of 1095 chromium vanadium steel. It would hold up a hell of a lot better. But, it's 85. This was 15, right? This is a cheap. Now, I got a real K-bar like this, but just to give you the size difference, This is a Chinese knockoff for $10. But you know, $10, right? 420. So you could see it. It's this knife, this Bowie, or Bowie. I think you say Bowie, to tell you the truth. It's very pretty, and I probably will take this around with me more than this puppy. It depends on what you're going to be doing. This one, if you take that around with you, you want to have a smaller knife. Even if it's like something like the standard K-bar, you want to have a smaller knife, because this is a little too unwieldy. But it's more, I know you could use an axe like a knife in a pinch. It's more like an axe. I'd say it's a knife and an axe all in one. That's what the hell it is. But to go show you this, this is actually one of their top sellers because it's huge. But to be quite honest, I think this Arizona Sunset beats it in looks. It's got that classic shape. I don't know what the steel is, but you know, they make up for it in thickness. And I'm going to put a vernier caliber on there because I'm curious now. I'm just wondering what it is. But it is pure brass, and it's real. It's not. This isn't brass plated. This is brass plated. But then again, it's brass plated with steel. You know, I mean, brass plating's not going to wear off very easily anyway. And even if it does, I don't know what's under it. Stainless steel, maybe. I don't know. But you know, it's not going to wear away that easy. This is pure brass, and the pommel and the hand guard, and it's real bone. Even though that's a stick tang, not sure how it's held on, but yeah, I know if you torture tested this thing, it would probably fall apart pretty quick. Maybe, I don't know, but if you're just using it for everyday use, it's thick enough that it's going to work. And you know, it's still got the right type of shape. But most people use things for everyday use. But it is a very pretty knife. The sheath, I think it looks better. It's a darker color. It's about the same size. This one's just a little wider because that blade's a little wider. And like I said, you can always, you know, if this is too long, you can even just fold this over and like this, put a tie on it, even, for crying out loud, you know, through that loop and down through the rivet here or something, or down through the bottom, and then you got a small loop. You know, you can always, there's always a way you could do it, either with sewing, heavy duty all sewing thread. But this is an extremely nice looking knife. Bowie, $15. I'll probably use this quite a bit because it's not too heavy. It's big. It's a serious chopper. But let me see what the backbone thickness on these are. And I'm not going to measure this one because it's not a real K-bar. I got the real K-bar inside. But like I said, I keep these out because I don't want to keep using my other stuff that's better. And you know, I use it for minor stuff, so I'm not going to break it anyway. So it's fine, you know. This one I keep out because just got it, but it's nice. I mean, it's not. This is pretty much impervious to the elements, I would say, because it's a true K-bar. You know, the steel itself, even though it's not stainless steel, it's kind of halfway to stainless steel with some of that chromium and nickel and vanadium in there. But you know, let's get some measure some of these things, because even this puppy, even though it's so damn heavy, you know, it's got its uses. I think this would work better than some of your smaller camp axes. So, and then the other thing is, you could still kind of whittle with it easier than an axe if you got to make some feather sticks or whatever the hell you want to do. Pretty good stuff for the money. That's really what it is. I mean, if this cost, you know, $60, I would say you're crazy, right? It's $15. It's $15. It was $60 and it had maybe much better quality steel in it, or whatever, you know, something else that, you know, it's withstood some torture test. I mean, yeah, I'd say maybe it was a good deal, but I don't know how much this would handle a lot of, you know, torture. But you know, it probably work okay. And let me just get out that vernier caliper and start measuring some of these things. I already measured these, but I got my old this analog type, non-digital freaking vernier caliper, which I trust better. It's about 180 thousandths, so 3/16 is 188 thousandths, basically just a hair under 3/16 of an inch. Now this puppy, the big old Western Outlaw, I thought they said it was a 1/4 inch, but it's under a 1/4 inch, so it's about what is that? I said 3/16, 7/30 seconds, around there. But if you're taking the where the tang is, then you're about a 1/4 inch right there. So that's why they're figuring a 1/4 inch. Where the tang is a 1/4 inch, not where the blade is. But the blade is. The problem is with this damn thing. It is too heavy. It is too heavy for messing around with. Really, it's kind of like you think you are swinging an axe. But I like the practicality of this size, and I take a few shots with it. I already sharpened it up with this Smith's. This is a machete and axe sharpener, right? Now I got the little Smith's for knives, which has a ceramic and carbide side on it, which. This even has a little wire cleaning brush in here. If you press that, it pops out the bottom. Boop. These are easy to use, and like I said, you don't really wear down the blade as long as you don't go over it too much. Just go over it enough lightly to sharpen it, and you really don't wear it down much. Take you freaking decades later, you still got plenty of. It's not going to really ruin it. Most people say that you don't want to do that, but it's not really a problem. Now, even though this K-bar is a lot thinner than that, I'll guarantee you this K-bar could stand a hell of a lot more abuse than this puppy. But it's still not a bad deal. Let's see if chop some wood with it. This, I could tell you right now, it's a hell of a lot easier to hold, and maybe it's not a real grippy handle or nothing like that, like on a K-bar, but it's not too heavy. It's not too heavy. You can swing this puppy. And honestly, I take a Pakistani knife over, cheap Chinese knockoffs. And they're all freaking selling everything in China today. And Schrade, Remington, I don't know what else is out there. Smith and Wesson knives and stuff. They're all coming out of China. And I'm like, well, I'm going with either USA, or if I'm getting something cheap, I'll just go down to BudK and get one of these pretty looking things, and they are well worth it. I think this is I don't know, well, we'll see. I don't think it's gonna fall apart too easy. If it does, I'll just get out the 3M panel adhesive part number 08115, which is way stronger than epoxy, and I'll put it back together again. But as far as like what it looks like, blade's got a nice like satin brush finish on it. It's all polished up, which you'll have to repolish it because it's brass. It's not just brass plated. It looks like it's finished good. It's finished good. It's got little grooves in a bone and stuff. And I'm just going to say something about even full tang. There's little disadvantages to them. Like you could always get. There can always be a separation between the material, even though this is stainless steel and this is hardwood. There can always be there's differences, shrinkages, and between heat and cold between these two materials, which can always loosen this up after a while if you have it in extreme weather. Things can happen to it after a period of time, but still, for cheap knives, these are they're good. They're good for cheap knives. That's what I'm going to tell you. And most people, they don't go around trying to hit aluminum pipes with them. They don't try to break bricks with them. They don't try to stab through, the side of a 1949 truck door with heavy sheet metal. They don't do that type of stuff. You're not going to wear this out under everyday use. It might need to be sharpened a little more, but because it's not a as good as steel. But this thing, I swear to, it was pretty sharp out of the box, but to get it really sharp, I think it took about 7 swipes of this thing. No problem. So, I mean, if it gets a little dull, it might take 3 swipes of it. It takes me literally 30 seconds to resharpen it. Big deal, right? It's not bad. It is. I mean, appearance-wise, it looks a lot prettier than the, I mean, it's not tactical, but it looks a lot more pretty than the K-bar. I know this K-bar is vastly more useful and stronger, and actually even more weatherproof too, even though it's, well, it's got chromium in the steel. Besides, it's much higher carbon content. I don't know what the carbon content it is. I'm assuming it's 420. But they've been getting a little bit better in Pakistan with their steels over the years. Some of the stuff they were using maybe even 10 years ago wasn't anywhere as good. But anyway, let's take a couple swigs with this and see if we can find some wood around here and chop something. Well, I found some 2x8 and I just put it on there with a C-clamp on that piece of girder. Yeah, it is it does feel good in the hand. Probably want to wear a leather glove with it because probably a little slippery if you're sweating or something, because it's smooth, right? Doesn't have finger grooves in it or nothing, but it's pretty good, man. Pommel, the hand guard's a little more further extended down where your index finger is. It's nice, got this nice little touch on here too, because I don't know if you can probably grip it better like that. I don't know if that helps, but let's see what happens here. Yeah. Of course, the clamp's coming loose, but yeah, it'll cut pretty good. So I mean, you consider that everyday use. Oh man, missed. I'm not going to try to bend it over, but I'm sure it wouldn't break. But I wouldn't be screwing around with this blade too much in heavy duty stuff. If you're careful with this blade, it'll probably last you a long time. But just remember, it's an everyday use blade, but it's very pretty. And consider it's not plated brass. It's going to stay looking pretty probably a very long time, as long as you take care of it more reasonably. So for $15, and if you're buying enough, I don't know, sometimes they had free shipping on any size order, sometimes they had free shipping on $39 or more. Hey, to me it's well worth it. You're getting what you're paying for, without a doubt. It is a value, and just use it reasonably well. It's fine. But as far as appearance, man, this is a very nice looking knife. It's got a very nice looking handle. It's called the Arizona Sunset. It's got the very nice looking shape. It's not too heavy. The Timber Rattler is more, the Western Outlaw Timber Rattler. It's more impressive looking, but this one you can actually, it's not like carrying a freaking, heavy axe. And you can see some of my campfire seals still working. Anyway, but yeah, if you chopped into some steel girder with it, I'm sure it put a big dig in it, but I ain't gonna do that kind of stuff. We're not out here to break the damn thing just for the hell of it, because I know it will break. It's not designed for extreme use, but everyday use, it'll work. And as far as the sheath on the this Arizona Sunset Bowie from BudK or Timber Rattler, it's better quality than a lot of the other knives. Actually, this is the K-bar sheath. It's not quite as thick, but it's fairly good size, man. It's not too bad. And what I like to do on all these sheaths is put a little camp dry on them, which is waterproofing, keeps them from rotting out. I could say also about this sheath, it's got the embossed pattern, sort of like a gator skin pattern on the front of it. Pretty nice. With this one, like I said, it's riveted in the back here, which is pretty good. But you can see, like the K-bar, it's got a lot more loop on it too. It's a little thicker leather. But as far as the stitching on this, you know, pretty good, you know. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm sure Pakistani Islamic fighters are using something like this. Not that I'd rather be using a K-bar, but you know, it's also the skill of the person, right? Yeah. Douse it down, and actually, you're not really supposed to keep the knife in the sheath, even if it's rust-proof. Somehow it gets mildew on it, but a lot of times they do anyway. My little K-bar I don't, and I can tell you this puppy already. See, they didn't stitch that good, right? This was on the this one, the big puppy out here, the Western Outlaw, probably called the Infidel Killer in Pakistan. The marketing name in West is called the Western Outlaw, and over in Pakistan they probably call it the Infidel Slayer or something, right? But we could fix this, and I'll just, you know, I'll show this on another video, but I'll show you what the device is that you fix that with real easy, and it'll be, I can make it stronger than anything, like a rock, you know. And to fix that stitching, like I knew this was something seemed a little loose on us. It started to unravel when I first got it. Not a big deal. I use this Speedy Stitcher. It's sewing all for, like, you can go through, like, you know, 20 pieces of denim or several layers of leather, no problem. You can even remake this thing and trace it out, the whole thing, and make a really super heavy duty sheath for it if you want. But you know, it comes in, you can use all kinds of different color threads. It comes with it. It's real thick thread. It's like a coated, I think it's a polyester, but there's different types you can get. It's real thick, and it won't come apart. It'll be on there solid as a rock. So you know, we'll fix it up with that, and that'll take me probably a few minutes to do that at the most. So you know, not a big deal. Not a big deal. I mean, I'm not going to cry about some little complain about something stupid like that, because if you're that much of a pussy, I don't even know why you even got a knife. You know, you can't freaking sew up a couple of stitches. And just want to comment, if you're looking at my channel, this is the first time you're looking at my channel's got a million different subjects on it. If you notice, I sort of get on a kick for one thing, and then, you know, right now it's been quite a few knife videos, but there's other things. It's like I get on the roll on one thing. It's like a mixture of every damn thing there is. So if you're looking around for a subject, it's probably on my channel. You just got to hit the search channel feature, because I don't have tunnel vision in one interest. It's like I get tunnel vision on an interest for a while, and then, you know, I go on to another subject. You know, research the hell out of something, or whatever, something I know pretty well, and I'll research it further, and I go on to one subject. Then I go on to another subject. So I don't really have a knife channel. I don't really have a health channel. I really don't have a silver channel. I don't really have an automotive channel. I don't have a, you know, various, whatever hell you want to call it, exercise channel even. But it's, you know, again, I would highly, highly, highly recommend this puppy just because of the way it looks. Just remember, it's for everyday use. And if you don't beat the crap out of it, it'll probably last you freaking 8 million years. I mean, somebody's going to say it's no good because it's made in Pakistan and stuff, but to say it's going to work for 15 bucks. And if you need to sharpen them up, get something like this. It's better than a knife sharpener for a knife that big. You want an axe and machete sharpener. A few swipes with this, it's sharp again. So for all practical purposes, it's great for everyday use, and it's the best looking Bowie I've ever seen. Bowie, whatever you want to call it, Bowie. You know, it's the best looking one I've ever seen. I'll tell you, if they made this out of like some really super high quality metals and stuff like that, the blade was, you know, had the right Rockwell hardness at 58, and they torture tested it, this would be a really hot seller because of the way it looks. It doesn't have to be silver blade, but that handle looks really nice. The bone and real solid brass, not brass plated. So, you know, got to hand it to them on that for $14.98. And if you look around, you know, a lot of times you get free shipping. I mean, that's the whole price, $14.98. And you can't beat that. It's a value.